Hey everybody, we are here at the LA Auto Show. In case you couldn't notice from the spectacular background, Mark and I are both here. Right now we are at the BMW booth. We want to see what BMW has in store for the show this year. So we're going to take a little walk around and see who we can talk to. We are in the BMW booth. I'm here with John Shipley, product manager from BMW.
Yes.
And so we're standing in front of the brand new X7. Now you guys pretty much created the performance SUV or sport activity platform before any of these other companies were doing. You guys were doing it, right?
We did, yeah.
And early on, we've seen the last couple of years, we've seen an X1 and an X2, we've seen the smaller ones, but now we're getting a larger number and a larger vehicle. Tell us a little bit about the X7.
Well, you know what, this is a product that we've all been waiting for. We know that there is a demand for a large SUV in this market. SUVs do very well, not only in this market, but across the world. And so we are very proud to introduce the all-new, first-ever BMW X7. This is a true 7-seater SUV. The configuration that you see behind you does have the optional captain's chairs, which makes it a 6-seater configuration.
Right, you lose that middle of the second
You
row.
do lose that middle, but what you do gain is this sense of luxuriousness and premiumness inside the cabin.
Accessibility as well.
Accessibility. So for customers who really do want to leverage the third row more often, they can do so by slipping through the second row captain's chairs a little easier.
And one of the things we always talk about is companies, and we're BMW fans, we've been BMW owners and fans of the company, and we love when companies are responsive to their consumer base, to their audience. And the X5 has been so popular for so long, people love them. And the one thing people always say, oh, I wish I had a little more room. I wish I had the same comfort, the drive of a BMW, the quality, the workmanship, but we wish we had a little more room. And you're giving them that and a whole lot more with
this will deliver on all of that, yes. And so we know there's a subset of our customers out there who want the flexibility of being able to transport 7 people, and there are customers out there who just simply want more cargo space, and that's exactly what this will deliver.
Well, I think you're dealing with customers probably like I talk to every day, which is people that have families, people that they don't want to be driving a minivan, they want to be driving a BMW, but they still want to be able to haul stuff. Now, are we seeing, is this an all-wheel drive model, or are we not? Do we have an all-wheel drive model this yet, or? So
this is an all-wheel drive model. It's the only way you're going to be able to get it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and we're going to have 2 engine variants at launch. We'll have the 6-cylinder, the X7 40i, and then we will have a V8, which is what we're showing here today, which is the X7 50i.
Maybe a little M badging in the future? I'm just putting it out there. Not that you have to break anything here. I'm just saying it's always a possible. We see, as a former M3 owner, I get a little giddy when I see that M on there.
I think anything's possible these days. I mean, you can see...
Anything's possible, yeah.
You can see with what we brought on stage today, we have the M850, we have the Z4 M40i, and we have an M340i as well. Okay, so for the people that are now watching and drooling, with their 5 kids waiting to get into one of these, when are we talking about release in North America? March of 2019. Yep. Wow, so that's when I guess I'll be getting mine hand delivered from BMW. He didn't say no, so that's probably going to happen. Okay, John, so now we've moved over, see, I can say it out loud, to the 8 Series here. And we're looking, now we're not going to show this one yet. Don't show this one because that's a surprise. That's called a tease. First, let's talk about the 8 Series Coupe. Now, I remember the original, it came out years ago, correct? Yep. Talk about this because it's kind of stunning. It's kind of a beautiful little beast. So what we like to say is that this is the rebirth of an icon. It's the return of the 8 Series name. It really does deliver on both sportiness and luxury. It really does combine those two worlds perfectly. So when I talk about sportiness, it has a 523 horsepower V8 engine.
Calm down here a second. 520?
523 horsepower.
Okay, that's a lot.
That means it translates to a 0 to 60 time of 3.6 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It also has adaptive M suspension with the active roll stabilization. It's got integral active steering. It has an M limited slip differential. It has an M Sport exhaust. So it really delivers on that sportiness. And it also delivers on luxury.
That's what I was going to ask because I know it does both.
So if you notice on the interior of the vehicle, it's equipped with high quality leather. It has a leather dash instrument panel. You could also get glass controls.
Glass controls.
Glass controls. So it's actually a crystal application that's on the gear shift.
as well as on the engine start-stop button and the iDrive controller. And you can notice it really does add a level of premiumness and luxury.
You feel like you're in something special.
Yeah,
obviously.
it also delivers on sportiness because when you sit in the vehicle, you'll recognize that familiar driver orientation of the cockpit. And you'll see that the design lines inside are pointing forward in a very dynamic direction. So it's evoking that sportiness, but wrapped inside of a nice, luxurious cabin.
And I'm glad you made that point, bringing the two together, because I think there's this idea that you really want to invest in one or the other. If you have a really sporty car, and I think people have that stigma with German cars, well, it's sort of that austere, plain interior. You want performance, you're going to, but with BMW, especially with this, you don't have to give up one for the other. You're still feeling like you're in the lap of luxury, but going 0 to 60 in
3.6 seconds.
Okay, that's like crazy hair plastered, what I have left plastered
And
back.
because we need all of that power to be harnessed, this is why it's only available in an xDrive all-wheel drive configuration.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's going to corner, it's going to hold onto the road. You can feel if you're in a rainstorm, you're still going to get that perfect control.
Exactly.
And the power and the luxury, of course.
Exactly.
All right, now because Mark already teased it, I'm gonna move my body over here. This we have never seen before.
Right.
This is truly a first.
This is the first ever.
Not a rebirth.
Nope.
It's a birthday.
This is the first ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to find on this vehicle everything that you're finding on this, with one teensy exception, which is the roof.
It's missing something on top.
It's missing something on top.
And obviously, I mean, this car is going to be slightly heavier because the infrastructure when you're doing the convertible is a little bit heavier, but you're not going to, the performance is still going to be incredible.
Performance is not sacrificed one bit. It does add a couple 100 pounds because we had to make some changes to
rigidity of the
chassis and the body, and because the components of the soft top adds a little bit of weight. But that soft top can open or close in just 15 seconds at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. So just imagine you're at a traffic light, it starts to rain a little bit, the traffic light turns green, well, you can go ahead and go and get that top up quickly.
We know the performance doesn't suffer, but do we still get the bling? Do we still get the beautiful inside of this car? So the same exact as you would get on the Coupe, you're going to get on the convertible.
Exactly. So this one, the official retail launch date is just in a few weeks.
Wow, okay.
In December of 2018, and this one is actually going to be in March of 2019.
So we have a lot to look forward to, not only now, but also in March, because we're going to get the X7, and we're also going to be getting the 8 Series convertible coupe.
Correct.
Wow, you know, I memorize these things. I regurgitate them pretty quickly, don't I?
So, BMW X7. You saw the seats went back there?
Beautiful, yeah.
That was really, really cool.
Really, really
All
cool.
automated. That had the captain seat configuration, which is really neat. The X8, though, I think that's like the vehicle to have. This is the world debut of the convertible, right? That's never existed
They've
before.
never done, what are they calling it? The Cabriolet, correct?
The Cabriolet, exactly.
And it's gorgeous. On the lines of it, if you look at it, Mark and I were kind of looking at it from all sides, it has a kind of look of an old school Aston Martin design, which is beautiful, but still unique to BMW. And the technology on the inside, ridiculous. In fact, all the vehicles we're looking at here, they're not only decked out in terms of performance and the design of the car itself, but also the tech inside is top notch. Even in the behind the front seats of the X7 we were looking at?
The X7, the passenger.
They have these giant, look to be like 13-inch screens.
Touchscreens,
like 16:9 ratios. Beautiful.
Let's try to find somebody who can talk about like the tech in the cars. That'd be pretty cool.
I think we can do that.
Let's go.
Let's do it. So if you're talking about BMWs, if you're talking about the luxury brand at BMW and the technology that's inside their luxury brand, you are talking to Frank Weber. Frank is going to be talking us through the technology. Now, technology has not just become something that we rely on as an extension of the phones that we carry and the devices we use, but also in terms of safety, the way the car communicates back to the passenger, back to its driver. So it's a huge thing, not just for the way it looks, but the way it helps the driver as well.
And you have technology in all areas in the vehicle that helps driving, helps economy and efficiency, safety, and many things. And what you see here on the stand is that we have enhanced with our 2018 new models all those areas.
Okay, and right now we are sitting in the 8 Series Cabriolet, the first of its kind, the brand new. And people are so taken by the performance, the way it looks. But again, we're talking about, I'm looking at a digital display right now.
Yes.
That's the digital display is standard in this vehicle?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what sort of information, because it's not just for show, there's going to be a lot of feedback that the driver gets from this display to enhance the experience, but also safety features, what's going on around them, I'd imagine?
Like we have, for example, a one push button assistance system. So whenever you want to have assistance, driver assistance.
Like autonomous driving?
Yes,
sort of thing?
you just push one button and the system goes and works. It's a single push button.
That's fantastic.
For example, you have a traffic jam assist that works up to 60 kilometers an hour. You don't have to keep your hands on the wheel. And the way how we do it is you have a driver distraction camera here in the middle of that.
And it can see what your eyes are doing, where they're looking, if they're closing.
Yes, you better don't go to the back seat, so it will stop. It will stop the vehicle.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, you have to do this so that it's a completely safe system.
Right.
And we have the latest sensing technology that looks forward, backward. The same is when you have somebody approaching you from the rear.
Right.
You will see that all the safety systems, when somebody comes too close to you, will actually pre-sense it and make it ready for a potential collision.
Well, see, this is a big deal because I think when people think about a car helping them in terms of their day-to-day driving, accident avoidance, they're always thinking in front of them. They're always thinking about what they're going to do. Am I going to hit another car? But really, the one thing we can't control when we're driving is the people around us.
Yeah, we now can do that.
Now we can really, that's a real, especially in Los Angeles, after we're here in Los Angeles.
And what you see, the other big area besides driver assistance safety system is certainly your digital interaction with the vehicle is very new. What you, for example, have is remote software updates, what you know from your mobile phone and everything.
Right.
Now we were able to do this for the entire vehicle, not just portions of the vehicle, but we can update the entire vehicle system.
Well, one of the things that Mark and I talk about at the radio show, we have a technology radio show, and we talk about hardware is brilliant, hardware is wonderful, but the real innovations with hardware always come on the software side because there are always things that to improve upon, to enhance functionality, to enhance performance, and those are all through software. Once the hardware is in place, it's the software that continues to drive the experience, no pun intended, but it is the software that drives the experience years down the line.
Yeah, but I think for a vehicle in particular, the software-hardware interaction makes the integration into a car so interesting. I give you an example.
Sure.
You have multiple ways to interact with your system. You can do it by Hey BMW, and you have a voice recognition system.
Oh, you have a personal assistant.
Yeah, so it's...
It heard you.
Yes, it does.
It listens to Frank. Look at that. Okay.
And what you have also is because you want minimum distraction while you are actively driving.
Right.
So we continue.
What can I help you with?
Yeah. So we just...
All right, leave her alone for a minute. Yeah.
What we also have is that we continue to do our iDrive system.
Right.
We have almost perfectionized that system. So with minimum distraction, we can get all the information you want. So you can talk to your system, you can have a manual control of your system.
Okay.
You have gesture control, and we continue to do this.
I remember the original iDrive when people came and like, well, the interface could be more intuitive, and you guys listen. BMW did listen. You made this a far more intuitive system, and the reaction time now between what you touch and what you enter and how quickly it responds, it's almost one-to-one motion here.
And by the way, we are measuring this. So these are individual goals for our engineers, how quickly you can have an interaction, how quickly things are uploaded.
It's important.
It's very important that this happening when you are searching for a title, that this works all very, very quickly.
You know, it's also very important. You can listen to this interview right here on SiriusXM. A little plug there, a little shameless plug by us. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get out of the car because there are a couple of things you showed me earlier that the average person wouldn't think of, oh, how much work went into creating it, but I think there's some cool things that you want to show us in the back. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm back with Frank again. We are now out of the vehicle. We are looking at the rear of the vehicle. Now, a person would look and say, oh, this is beautiful. The car looks great, but they might not necessarily know what went into the design in terms of the way this operates, correct?
Yeah, this rear is not only beautiful, but it's very practical.
Okay.
But we have integrated what is not so easy is a fully electric system, it's an electro-hydraulic system to open and close your deck lid.
And this is we've never seen this before because usually this rear portion is what, the boot cover usually interacts with this and stops it from being able to be electrically operated,
It's
right?
very tricky to get that integrated. It's small things, but customers are looking for a luxury sports car. Everything should work perfectly. And this thing is technology loaded. It has, for the first time, a new V8 engine.
Right.
And it has chassis technology that is impressive. It has roll control. It has variable damping system. It has slip differential that can lock. And so therefore we were able to make this a truly wonderful sports car and at the same time be comfortable.
And the car is monitoring, as you said, the car is monitoring itself as you're driving. Yeah. So the car is getting feedback from not only the driver, but also the road conditions, the people that are around them. The car is taking in everything, taking that and then giving you the best experience possible.
And the car is a learning vehicle, and by the way, the car is comprehending and looking at your navigation data. Okay. And so your assistance systems will adapt according to the road you are taking and will actually adjust the speed according to where you are going.
All this talk really makes me just want to drive one of these. We might have to set that up, Barb. Maybe make that happen sometime. Maybe we'll do this again next year when you guys have some new stuff to show us, because you guys are always innovating, always come up with new stuff.
Yeah, so much more to come next year.
Okay, so basically this wraps up our time at the BMW booth at the LA Auto Show. We're standing in front of actually the iNext concept, which is going to be a whole other thing that we're going to do on SiriusXM. It's a concept vehicle that my guess is will be coming out, maybe not exactly like this, but closer to the concept than you probably think. And like I said, we're going to leave a link as soon as we do our SiriusXM radio story on it. We're going to do some interviews with the folks at BMW and talk about their new mandate for.
Do you hear about the gesture control on the actual surface of the seat in the back?
The fabric of the seat in the back. You can do gesture control. You can. It's incredible. We're going to talk all about that. But we want to say a big thanks also to BMW for giving us access on press day to their booth, giving us a first look at the beautiful new 8 Series convertible.
Hopefully a first drive.
First drive, of course, and of course the X7, a new 7-passenger vehicle, the reintroduction of the 8 Series Coupe, that with a hardtop, of course. So a lot of cool things here at the BMW booth. Mark, I'm glad we did this in person, because not only do we not get to see each other often, but to do something like this is kind of a cool thing.
This is kind of neat. So don't forget, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because Mitchell wants your love.
I do. I'm a little needy man.
He's a little. Check out this car as we sign off. This is nuts.